All right, Bitcoin has had some crazy price action today. We've gotten this massive wick, and I want to go over the developments in higher time frame market structure, in this internal market structure that we've been trading in since we put in this low, and I want to take a look at market Cipher and try and determine if this was just a short squeeze or if maybe we will eventually get a move up to this larger range high. First thing I want to talk about is daily market structure because this is something that has had a significant development. So here I have marked out the daily market structure. From this point, this is essentially the point where we had like a false break of the daily structure, but then went on to put in higher highs anyway. And from there, we've basically respected daily structure. So I think it is very important, especially in this range. And I have it in orange, repping the Halloween and the Bitcoin colors. I thought that was appropriate. So basically, what I've been looking at for the longest time with this daily market structure was these 2 points right here. Since we put in this low, since we came down to the low of the range, we've been looking at these two market structure points, this lower high and this lower low, and we have just wicked the last daily lower high. So this is a very significant development here, and I think it is important considering the fact that there's been a lot of discrepancies across different exchanges. Like we've seen a lot of wicks on Bybit that Binance or most other exchanges didn't get, and the other night Binance actually had a wick that Bybit did not get. Binance took out an important high, and Bybit did not. So it's been very odd price action, so I think it is a good idea to make sure that we took out this high on most exchanges. So looking at Bybit, we did indeed get that massive wick to the upside to take out that high. That is good. Let's check MEXC as well. And we did take out that high in MEXC, pretty much same thing. It looks like the wicks are very similar. We can check a few other exchanges, but Bybit and Binance are the biggest ones, so I think as long as they're agreeing, then for the most part, am looking at it as a valid move. We could check some spot exchanges, like maybe Coinbase. Let's see if that took out the high. Okay, and it did not, and I'm not surprised about that. Spot usually does not take out, the same lows that futures takes out. Like for example, we did not take out this low on Coinbase either. So I'm usually not concerned with spot exchanges. I'm more so looking at the futures charts. So as long as Binance and Bybit did, then I will consider this a valid wick of the high as of right now. And so far, that's what it is. It is a wick of the daily market structure point. Now, we have not closed the daily candle yet, so potentially we get another massive pump up to actually close above this level. I am thinking that is less likely now that we've gotten this massive retracement to the downside, but anything is possible. So we still don't know if it's going to be an SFP at this point or not, but if we close a daily candle, then, at least based on the candle confirmations, it is an SFP. And I would be, really paying attention to the market structure from the low up. And if that starts to break, then, well, that could be another confirmation that we're, probably respecting this SFP, and maybe the target of that SFP might actually get hit. So that's another thing I'd be paying attention to. And you can even go, smaller time frame and look at the internal structure of like, the 1 hour move to the upside, basically just this last move. And we still have not broken that structure yet. The higher low is coming in right here on the 1 hour. So, that could be another early sign that, okay, maybe we are going to actually SFP that point. But right now, just looking at it, at least looking at the candles, the fact that this is such a massive sell-off after getting that wick above the high, it does kind of make me lean more bearish. Makes me think that this is eventually going to end up being an SFP. Now, maybe it closes bearish, maybe we get a retracement here, but then come up to break that high with a close later. That's also a possibility, but just looking at it for, what it is right now, this is a very bearish looking wick, especially since it took out a daily market structure point. I mean, this has got to be the biggest bearish wick if it closes down here. Right now it's like an 8.2% wick, which is like the largest wick to the downside that we've seen in a very long time. It might have been the all-time highs. I'm not seeing another massive wick to the downside like that. We have buying wicks like that. But yeah, if it closes as that big of a wick, I kind of think that's a bearish thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to come down to this low right away, I don't think, but you have to admit that this wick right now does not look very good. Now, another thing I want to look at is market cipher. Let's start from the weekly time frame and just go over market cipher again, considering we've had a significant development here. Let's get a little refresher, see how things are looking on the weekly time frame, and then see how things are developing on the lower time frames. So on the weekly, we still have this weekly trigger wave that is printed down here. The fact that momentum on the weekly got a divergence, got a move up, above the zero line, and just recently got a wave down below and is seemingly printing a tight trigger wave to the zero line, is kind of looking good for continuation of this weekly bullishness that we're seeing on market cipher B. And yes, I know we did get weekly bearish divs in momentum on the high, but something that I've noticed, at least from my time looking at market cipher, is when looking at higher time frame divergences, like I'd say 4-hour plus, a lot of the times when you see bearish divs in momentum, but you do not see bearish divs in money flow, it can mean a retracement rather than a reversal. So if you're looking at the weekly time frame and you're looking at weekly market structure, maybe the fact that we got a bearish div in momentum, but if you zoom in, we did not see a bearish div in money flow. Money flow actually did put in a higher high along with price, so we did not see a money flow div. Maybe that just means a retracement in this weekly market structure, and after that we did get a move down to the opposite weekly market structure point, and we SFP'd it. So potentially, we did just get the retracement after that bear div, and now maybe we continue weekly market structure. That is still possible. But, on that same note, looking at the low that we put in over here, we got the same thing essentially. We got a bullish div in momentum, but we did not see a bullish div in money flow. Could that mean that maybe this whole move to the upside is just a retracement before eventually continuing higher time frame market structure? Maybe. So that is something that, you have to consider. But as of right now, the weekly market structure is technically still bullish, and we did just get an SFP of, the weekly high or low. So now zooming in a bit, let's go to the daily, and daily market cipher B is actually looking pretty good as well. We may have a trigger wave forming to the downside, and money flow is not looking bad on the daily. We've gotten a move to the upside here, pretty decent direction, kind of, showing this curved reversal as well. And, if we zoom in, we did just get a trigger wave before this, but that was before money flow crossed into the green. Now we're getting another trigger wave, and money flow is putting in a higher high locally. So daily could potentially be looking bullish, but then again, if we just reverse from here, if price starts to dump and momentum kind of curls over here, then we would be printing a pretty nasty bearish div here. Not with money flow, but definitely with momentum. Unless we kind of, just range here for a little bit and eventually momentum does get a move to the upside. But, yeah, right now I'd say daily looks pretty good. We're seeing good direction with momentum and money flow, and we are printing this trigger wave right now with money flow putting in a higher high. The 4-hour time frame, money flow is also getting a move to the upside, and a decent looking move, I'd say. It is a little choppy. The waters are a little choppy, but overall it is curving to the upside. Right now, though, it is kind of flattening out right here, which isn't a great sign. But looking at momentum, we did not see a 4-hour div on that high. Could potentially see a money flow div, though, if price just starts to reverse and we never really see continuation here. Money flow is definitely lower than what it was when we were at these highs. But no momentum div on that high, which is interesting. And just kind of quickly clicking through the 3-hour to the 1-hour. 3-hour looks very similar to the 4-hour in money flow and momentum. And the 2-hour, the last time I checked, was looking pretty good. Yeah, this money flow was looking pretty decent. It was curling to the upside the last time I looked at it, and looks like it is getting follow through so far. A slight bear div on that high, it looks like. This red dot printed slightly lower than this one. But money flow is putting in a higher high, and it's looking pretty decent, I have to say. And 1 hour as well is pretty much the same thing. You can see money flow continuing to grow here. Maybe a slight money flow div on that high, but it's not really looking bearish. Just the fact that it is continuing to get thicker, and momentum is very aggressively pushing to the upside. We have this very thick wave, so it makes me think that maybe we just see a little retracement followed by a trigger wave, and that could lead to more bullishness later, even if we end up getting a retracement here. Maybe something like this, like money flow getting thick on the 1 hour, a thick momentum wave, at least relative to all the other ones, and then we come down for a little retracement, get a trigger wave, and then eventually get more continuation to the upside. That's like, one of the best things I can compare it to at this point. So it seems like looking across all time frames, I mean, we have bullish potential. Doesn't mean that we have to see bullish follow through, but market Cipher is looking pretty good on most time frames. And kind of looking at it in the perspective of this larger range that we've been trading in since April, this could be the most bullish that the daily has looked since we've been in this large range. I mean, it was looking pretty bearish, honestly, once we entered this range. Money flow got a significant decline and was just barely getting waves above the zero line, putting in lower lows in the red as we were over here. We could not get money flow to get a significant move to the upside when we revisited the highs, and we never really saw, good development of momentum and money flow to the downside. It was really just like quick moves down, quick moves up. Same thing with momentum. We never really saw good direction building up to the downside, but over here we do. So not considering this massive bearish wick that we just got, at least looking at market Cipher, it seems like this is the most promising sign of more upside, maybe even, a breakout of this range to the upside that we've seen in a while. And I'd say going back to the weekly idea I had of this move to the downside just being a retracement, SFPing the weekly market structure point, printing a trigger wave, and then potentially getting continuation, is looking more promising after looking at the daily time frame. But I don't think we're going to get our answers right now. I highly doubt that we will see, another aggressive move like that to close above here and then from there just get continuation right away. I would expect that if we're going to continue rotating to the upside, maybe it happens later. Like maybe we get a retracement, end up ranging some more, maybe even get like a false break to the downside, but then eventually flip market structure back to bullish. Maybe even after taking out this low again, like, we still could see bullishness after taking out that low. I've actually wanted to see this low be taken out for a while, so, maybe that comes later, but at least right now it seems like we could see some follow through to the upside in the short term. So maybe, we don't even get that far of a retracement. Maybe we actually maintain the structure and eventually just continue on with bullishness later. I'm just kind of spitballing here. These aren't really ideas that I'm looking to trade, at least not directly. There's not really much that I can do with trading other than low time frame scalping right now, just based off of like, this local range that we've been trading, because, I'm not going to take a short here with my invalidation all the way up here. That doesn't make a lot of sense. If we see further developments, like maybe if we break market structure and then see some kind of continuation sign, then I can get into shorts following that idea later. But, right now, just based on this massive wick and kind of the uncertainty, I'm really only interested in trading like local range stuff at this point. But maybe if we see some more confident developments later, then that can change. Maybe I will start to plan out some more swing-like ideas. So I guess to sum it up, we are kind of seeing some surprisingly bullish things in market Cipher. We're definitely seeing some surprising price action with this massive wick up to this significant point. It has been very weird price action and, nothing that I'm really interested in trading, like I said, right now. So I think that's just about everything I wanted to go over in this video. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment. All of that helps to support my channel, and I really appreciate everybody that does that. And I will see you all in the next video.